Our topic of deliberation for today is what are the advantages which accrue to a chartered accountant in case he or she opts for an MBA course. Interesting as this sounds, there are a lot of thoughts that need to be consciously put into your MBA decision because of the sheer fact that today MBA, no matter how glamorous as it sounds, has also become a very costly proposition. So if you look at a typical chartered accountant who will want to do a 2-year full-time MBA from any of the prestigious B schools in India, so let's say you would have a salary of 15 lakhs per annum, so you forego 30 lakhs of salaries in terms of the opportunity cost, you shell out some 20-22 lakhs in terms of the course fee, and then you will have 5-6 lakh rupees of expenditure on campus. So it's a huge economic decision, and the benefits will be a delta with respect to your existing salary. So in case you have something like 15 lakhs per annum today, you'll have to take a bet on that. What are the kind of trajectories that you're likely to embark upon post your MBA? What is going to be that delta? And often, you'll have to then do a mental mathematics of, on the NPV-IRR front, does it really make sense? In many cases it might not, but then still would you want to do an MBA? So here are my some pointers from my end as to what exactly does an MBA do to you in terms of your outlook towards life, and what are the subtle benefits that come to you because you've undergone this MBA course. Now this season, from my little list of known people, I know 7 people who, after doing chartered accountancy and having proved themselves in the corporate world, even earning salaries up to 40-50 lakhs per annum, have decided to opt for the MBA course. So they've typically gone to an IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, Calcutta, ISB Hyderabad, Harvard Business School, IE Business School, Spain. So after having done the CA course, so what are the advantages which an MBA brings to you? So I think typically a CA course gives you a very rock solid foundation in terms of theoretical concepts. But one of the limitations of the course is that since it's largely a correspondence course, your interaction with faculty is quite limited. Something which an MBA course helps you overcome, because there you get to interact with faculty of the highest order, faculty who really spend hours and days into research into their respective fields. So at IIM Ahmedabad, I used to interact with faculty who used to advise ministries in the government of India on to how they could more effectively implement public policy. Now that becomes quite an experience, trying to understand how these professors think and how they advise the world. That's very important. The one key difference is the teaching method, in terms of your typical CA course or a CS course will largely be a course which focuses on your ability to remember things, your ability to memorize things. So for example, standard costing in CA final will essentially be an outcome of your success in this chapter. Will be you need to understand all the formulas and then memorize them, that budgeted cost minus actual cost, budgeted cost for actual capacity minus very difficult formulas. In an MBA, one of the advantages is that they really don't want to test your memory. The focus is on your understanding of the world and how you make decisions in real life. Therefore, most of the exams that are going to be conducted will be open book in nature, and at least especially in case of formulas, you will be asked to make a 1-pager of the formulas and take it to the exam hall, because they want to really understand, can you think through situation, can you analyze reams of data and then come up to a decision. So the case study method which they have, so a typical case study would be like, you are there with Mr. Uday Kotak as part of the Kotak Mahindra Bank Board of Directors meeting, and here is an ING Vaishya Bank which is up for grabs, and at this particular valuation, this is what the deal brings on the table. What would be your decision? So this suddenly kind of forces you to think and not just memorize. The other benefit is that typically anyone who is a subject matter expert before becoming an MBA, so for example, if you're a chartered accountant, you will be an expert in terms of taxation or NPV, IRR. But if you look at running a business and the kind of complexity that one needs to grapple with, you will realize that business decisions at the top level cannot really be determined completely by someone who's been exposed to just work one particular facet of life. So people who have been working in silos in R&D or in finance or in taxation, suddenly they will not be able to take decision when it comes to a holistic business decision, which will involve logistics, supply chain, marketing, industrial relations, and of course finance. So in terms of the breadth of the course, suddenly when you are exposed to non-finance subjects, it helps you grow into a business person rather than a financial analyst. So, and therefore it is good that once you graduate to the mental thinking ability where you can actually think about how a just-in-time method of inventory management can contribute to bottom line increase, it will, as a chartered accountant, even though you will not become an expert in supply chain, but then you can ask the right questions when you meet people. So that will really impact manifold your ability to make an impact in the corporate world. And then there are a lot of fields which are not open to chartered accountants per se, because companies want to take the cream de la cream, and therefore will go to a campus and B-School campus and recruit. So typically a McKinsey, Bain, BCG and Accenture, they will want to take chartered accountants typically for back-end roles, but the front-end roles, the consumer-facing roles that these people have will typically go to B-School graduates. Fair, unfair, I do not know. But then our life is too short for us to try to bridge the gap on our own. It is far better in case you can actually take time out, either 1 year full-time MBA or 2 year full-time MBA, and try to go through this journey. And the other benefits in terms of peer network. So when you look at a decision, so you will have typically groups to which you will be assigned in a B-School. And there you will typically look on to the same situation along with someone who spent 15 years in branding, someone who spent 10 years in supply chain management, someone who's been in the army, one person who's been in the NGO, someone who's in IT sales, and all of them will think with very different perspectives on the same problem. This is something that helps you understand different dimensions of a particular problem. I think this problem solving ability, you talk to any alum, even from 1960s batch or 70s batch, they'll say that the ability to think analytically onto a problem and try to come up with multiple solutions is what defines an MBA in terms of what tangible benefits it does. Networking on the campus, so the 2 years that you spend on campus, the formal, informal discussions over cups of coffees, in many ways will help you forge bonds of friendship which might last for a lifetime. Yeah, it will certainly depend on a host of other factors as well, but the typical access that it gives you. So for example, if you are from any of the premier preschools in the country, you will have an alumni who will be holding very key positions in various places, and because you are connected to that alumni via very active alumni chapters, it will really make a difference. And so the two things which even I had written in my SOP were this only. One is in terms of the ability to think beyond NPVs and IRRs, in terms of the holistic view of taking decisions, and second is in terms of the peer network. And largely, and the brand, because yes, this brand really matters, because the moment you will say that yes, I am from ISB Hyderabad or I am from IIM Calcutta, suddenly people, you will find that they'll start taking you way more seriously than they would have otherwise taken you. And that's a halo effect, because they know that okay, these are the institutes that have produced X, Y, Z in terms of the illustrious alumni, and suddenly you have something in you that you've gone into those institutes and also gone out with your head held high. Yeah, seriously, I mean, if grappling with the pressures of term 1 and 2 in any B school campus is really very tough. So that is the kind of feedback that I have also got when I have interviewed a lot of people for my MBA story, which is a little blog that we run. So friends, in case you are a chartered accountant and you do not want to stay restricted or confined to a compliance thing or an Ind AS or an IFRS kind of a role or a US taxation kind of a role, if you want to graduate into larger roles related to business decisions, have guts, take time out and opt for the MBA course. It can really take your career to an altogether different trajectory. Thank you.